What's up YouTube, Brady Oak here, and today we are talking about Olympia predictions for the men's physique division. If you're like me, I'm a huge fan of the men's physique division. It's my favorite division. It's the one I compete in, and I'm so excited for the Olympia this year because the lineup is insane. And not really just even with men's physique, but specifically like the open and even the classic divisions as well. The stack up this year is probably the most impressive stack up potentially ever. Some insane things are about to go down here in Las Vegas this year, and I want to give my predictions for the men's physique division, what I've been able to see this off season and what I think is going to happen at this year's Olympia, but also specifically some dark horse competitors that might surprise everyone. Some new names, some old names. We're gonna find out what happens, but here are my personal predictions. And by the way, guys, drop a comment down below if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, whatever. I wanna hear what you think down below in the comments. All right, so I got my list right here. First of all, the lineup is huge. There's a lot of guys, and I'm really gonna just focus on, about the 10 that I think stand a chance to be in that top 10 and where I would personally place them. But just a reminder for last year, guys, Brandon Henderson took it again. That was his third Mr. Olympia title, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say, I think he deserved it 100%. He had the best all-around package by far, but there are some competitors that are extremely close, and I think you know who I'm talking about, but we're gonna bring them up here in a second. Second place, Aaron Banks. He was the dark horse of last year, showed up into his pro debut and absolutely just climbed to the top of the ladder very quickly with a very impressive physique. Third place, we had Diogo Montenegro, who I think has probably the best shape we have seen in the men's physique division potentially ever. Insane shape. There's just a few things he needs to fix, and he's going to be up there, potentially winning Olympias here in a little bit. Fourth place last year, we had Chiron, who is, I think, probably a crowd favorite. Everyone loves Chiron. Amazing posing and just such a unique look and stage presence that he is completely nailed down. So yeah, he was fourth, and then fifth place was Raymond. Now, we're not going to see Raymond this year. He's doing whatever he's doing. I don't think anyone really knows what he's up to, but we do have a lot of incredible competitors. So first of all, Bhuwan Chawan. He's from India. I think a lot of people know him. He's got a pretty big social media following, and he has actually taken some time off the sport, and he has come back, and he's absolutely crushing it right now. Bhuwan has definitely grown a lot in his offseason, and I mean, that was his goal in taking some time off, was to come back bigger and better. He did just qualify for the Olympia maybe a month or two ago, if I remember correctly, and the package that he did bring was quite impressive. I mean, he definitely grew a lot. He's going to be one of the bigger guys out there. And yeah, his physique was already insane, but now it's even more insane. Ryan Terry, he's back. So this is very exciting. Ryan Terry was one of the greats back in the day. He started taking a few steps backwards as far as his placing goes, but then he took some time off, grew a little bit, and then he competed last year at the Arnold Sports UK Festival, and he won, which qualified him for the Olympia this year. I love Ryan Terry. He's one of my favorites, and it's good to see a guy like that come back, make improvements, and we'll see what happens this year with him. We got Brendan Hendrickson, reigning champ, going for number 4. If he can pull this off, that'll be absolutely crazy. There's only one other person in the men's physique division ever that has been able to get 4 Olympias, and that of course is Jeremy Buendia, the father of men's physique. Aaron Banks, he desperately wants that first place, no doubt about it. He is not coming for second place, and wow, this is going to be a showdown for sure. And of course, Diogo is up there as well. He's going to come back and getting third place the way he did last time, also looking very good throughout this year in his shows. This is going to be very exciting. Chiron, of course, wants to up his placement as well. He's right up there with those guys, man. So them 4, whew, that's a tough crowd to beat. Sadiq is back, so he took some time off as well. Sadiq was one of the first competitors in men's physique back in the day, and it's been really cool to see him develop into what is the new standard for men's physique. The 2 or 3 shows he did this year to get qualified for the Olympia, I mean, he put on a show. I think he looked incredible, and yeah, he's going to be up there as well. I'm going to talk about 4 other competitors that I just want to focus this video on. Now, one of them's Andre Ferguson, okay? So no surprise, he is one of the best physiques in the game. But remember, last year, he actually got 9th place, which is his worst placing ever, I believe. And from what I've heard, he has been told repeatedly now from the judges that he needs to bring something newer and better, because Andre is the type of guy that, I mean, you could stack up his last 5 or 10 shows and he looks identical in every single one. He brings this distinct, good enough look, and it's always worked for him. But men's physique has changed so much. You know, they're bigger, they're better, they're tighter, they're sharper now, and he hasn't quite kept up with the division. So I think he got his slap in the face getting 9th place last year. He has made improvements. He's talked about those improvements. We saw him in one pro show this past year and he looked phenomenal. So this is interesting because he could be one of the best if he has made enough changes, similar to Ryan Terry. So I think him and Ryan Terry are going to be very, very interesting to see this year. 3 other guys I want to talk about is Carlos de Oliveira. He's one of my favorites. I mean, I just don't think he has quite the right look to place top 5 yet, but he does look incredible, and he always looks incredible. He always brings an amazing package, and he's worth mentioning. Also Stephen Cow, he's back up there. Similar physique to Carlos, I believe. Both just looking incredible, and we're going to see if they've made any sort of improvements this offseason to try to battle for that top, maybe 6th placing, which I think both of them have the potential to. And the last person I want to talk about is Alex Toplin, an acquaintance of mine. He showed up into his pro debut, and this whole year has been crazy for him. I mean, he went pro, I believe, last year, if I remember correctly, and the dude's insane. I mean, he's the real deal. He's coming into this a first-timer into the Olympia, pretty much brand new into the pro series, but he has an incredible physique, and I will be talking about him here in a little bit. So as for my personal, I'm gonna kind of place my top 7. The names I just mentioned all look incredible. That's what makes this year so tricky, is they all look so good. Now, of course, a lot of this depends on if they're going to be able to bring their best, because if someone's off, if Brandon Hendrickson is off even by a little bit, that could give someone like Aaron enough to beat him. I'm just going to go based on if they all brought their absolute best and kind of go from there. I have my top 3, but I'm going to first go through my 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th placing, kind of in order. What I'm trying to say is I think the 4th through 7th placing that I say here, I think they could kind of bounce around a little bit. They're going to be top 7, but they're not going to be top 3 is what I'm trying to say. So breaking into that top 7, I think Ryan Terry is going to do it. I think he has an incredible physique. I think he has made changes. I don't think he has made enough changes. I think he still lacks in size. I think his back is just not quite in comparison to the level of backs we're seeing in the men's physique division these days. I think also his posing needs a little bit of improvement. He actually got some outside help in his show last year for his posing routine. So his posing routine is actually way better now, but his just normal posing, he needs to work on it. It's a little awkward in my opinion. His hand placement's a little odd. He doesn't get that lat out quite enough on his open hand. When he's doing his Superman pose, he looks great. I think he should potentially just keep that pose. But when he does his hand off hip pose, I think it's just a little off. I think he needs a little additional help with that. I also have tended to see him recently retracting a little bit too much on his back pose, which does not do his back any justice. I think he needs to keep it out wide. But I'm interested to see how he does. I mean, like I said, he's one of my favorites. If I'm being honest with myself, I don't see him breaking a top 5. In 6th place, this is the tricky part. I have Andre Ferguson. Again, I think Andre Ferguson, if he has made enough changes, he could maybe go 5th or 4th place. I don't see him breaking top 3 though, unfortunately for him. I don't know if he's made enough changes. He looks amazing, but it's not about looking amazing anymore. It's about looking, super amazing. 5th place. Now this is the dark horse of the Olympia, in my opinion. The person that you need to keep your eyes on the most, and it is Alex Toplin. His back specifically is, if not the best, second best ever in men's physique. The only person that would potentially beat him right now is Aaron Banks. Now, I will say, we've never seen him side by side on stage. That is going to be something to witness right there, to find out who really has the best back in the men's physique division. But Alex Toplin's back is absolutely insane. He's a taller guy. I think he's a few inches taller than me. He's probably 6'1", maybe 6'2". He's like a bigger guy, and I think him and Aaron Banks are going to battle it out from the back. Brandon is right there as well. Brandon's back is near perfect as well, but just having that distinct look that no one else has, these guys have it. Next up, 4th place, I got Chiron. And this is when, honestly, I'm sorry for doing this, but it gets kind of boring because I got 4th place, Chiron, 3rd place, Diogo, 2nd place, Aaron, and 1st place, Brandon, which is exactly what happened last year. I do think it'll end up being the same. I think Brandon's package is just the best out of all of them. He has the full look. I think Aaron Banks, his back is amazing, but from the front, it doesn't compare to Brandon's. And I think Diogo, although he's making his way to the top, he's not quite there. So that's what I think, guys. Thank you for watching this video. I want to know what you guys think down below. What do you think? Who's your top 3? And I just can't wait to see this, guys. As a huge fan of the sport, this is going to be an awesome Olympia. But we will see you in the next video. Peace out.